Hi there, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am Trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor, and for the next 60 minutes, we're going to have some hair talk. I am so incredibly excited about the show today because we have with us Kirby and Kristen, and we're going to have some today. We got some great questions from them, and I'm about those questions. I mean, Kirby wants to know how to get her hair back from childhood. Now, you guys know that the hair that you had when you were a little girl was full, and most of you, and you had this wonderful hair, and everybody, I have a lot of my patients who are always longing for that hair. They're like, why can't I have the hair that I had when I was a little girl? Well, we're going to talk about that with Kirby today. And then Ashley wants to know, is it important to use hot oil treatments? That's the question of the day. What oil should I use? How often should they be applied? Should I apply it? Okay, so that's a great question. And of course, Kristen, the most fit woman that I know, is going to be here to talk to us about some of the things that her clients go through. She's a personal trainer. She's also a amateur boxer. She's just a talented fit young lady. And she's going to be here today joining us and talking to us about some of her hair challenges as well as some of the challenges that her clients go through. So if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in today. Now, remember, I'm here each and every week, right here live in the iHeartRadio in the WDIA studios. And so, we came on a little bit late today, but we're here and we're going to replay this show this Sunday. We're going to replay it right here in the iHeartRadio in the WDI studios. So I'm so excited about today's show. All right, so we're going to get to it. We also have some other things that we're going to talk about today. Let's take a look. We got some really exciting things. We're going to talk about Jennifer Hudson and her new do, how everybody's really kind of looking at her wardrobe and talking about it. But, hey, she's got a kind of a rockin' hairstyle. So we want to talk about that, and let's just kind of get to the point about that, because most people are just ignoring that fact. So we're going to talk about that today. We've got bloggers, and I always like to kind of tune into our bloggers and see what they're talking about, especially the folks who've got all these views and subscribers, especially the YouTube bloggers, because they're showing a lot of things, and we want to just talk about those things. I have a lot of people who email me and say, hey, Lisa, is this true? Or can I really do this with my hair? Is it safe? And so as a trichologist, I'm able to give that scientific approach to hair, because our hair is really just dead keratinized cells. We just want to protect and preserve it. And so I'm going to talk about some of these bloggers and some of the things they're doing. And yeah, just really understanding products and certain things. And we may not have enough time to speak about. It's a ingredient that goes in a lot of product. It's a glycolic, I always pronounce that incorrectly, acid liquid that goes into a product. It's raw material. And we want to see how important that is for your hair. We may not have time to deal with that particular raw material today. We may run out of time, but we will definitely get back to that, because you find it in a lot of your hair products. So let's get right to the show. First, we're going to start with Ashley. Hi, Ashley, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Ashley, talk to me. Tell me. Give me your question.
My question is, how often should you use a hot oil treatment?
Well, Ashley, I think the big question is, should you even use one? Because
Yeah,
let's start with that one, because let's face it, hot oil. Let's talk about what oils will do. I mean, and first, I want to ask you a question. What reason would you use oil? What do you think that hot oil treatment is going to do for your hair?
I guess it would be like to moisturize your scalp,
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess like kind of unclog your pores. in a way.
And you know what, Ashley? The reason I asked that because the knowledge base, the reason I do these shows is because I want all of my viewers to have a really good, strong knowledge base. I want them to understand really what, why, and when, that kind of thing. And you're asking, when should you use it? And you're asking about hot oil treatments, but I really want to talk about what this is. What is a hot oil treatment? And you mentioned unclogging pores, and you mentioned moisturizing your scalp. So let's look at those for just a minute. And I want to park there a minute, because sometimes I spend a lot of time on certain questions, and I think this one is definitely one that should get a little extra time. As it relates to hot oil treatments, think about it. Or what oil will do. Let's talk about oil and moistures. You mentioned you want moisture, and you want to use a hot oil treatment to do that. Moisture and oils are two different things. A moisture can be, let's see what we got. Okay. A moisture can be received, and moisture levels can stay up with oils, but it's only going to seal in the oil. Oils don't actually give you moisture. So that's something we have to really keep in mind. So when you are using a hot oil treatment, if it's going to do anything at all, it would only seal. Now, with that being said, if your goal is to get your moisture levels up and to unclog your pores, then the hot oil treatment will not be the product. Let's back it up a little bit. So hold it there and hold that thought. But when you are going to do a hot oil treatment, what you're doing is you're using oils, and those oils are going to basically close the cuticle down, lubricate the hair shaft, lubricate the scalp, and seal in moisture. Don't use the kinds that you buy over the counter. You want pure oil when you use those. So you can use a hot oil treatment, but you want pure oils. But when you rinse your hair, which you have to rinse that oil out, when you rinse your hair, most of the benefits from the oil after a day are gone, because it's just basically going to kind of dissipate. So you're not going to get a lot of benefits. Now, what is the best thing to do to retain moisture and unclog pores? The best thing to do is to not use a hot oil treatment. The best thing to do is to number one, clarify your hair and scalp, and number two, use a deep conditioner, and then on a daily basis, use moisture and seal with oil. So let me slow that down a little bit and just explain a little further. First, you're going to shampoo. Make sure you use a clarifier. And I know a lot of you are afraid of clarifiers, but you really need to use a shampoo that's going to have the pH of your hair and scalp and can deep clean. You're not going to strip. You're just going to put it at a pure natural state. You don't want to strip. You don't want to remove what's natural. You just want to remove what's unnatural. Next, you're going to work with your deep conditioning, and you really want to get under the dryer with that conditioner at least once a week for optimum penetration and optimum results. And what that's going to basically do is balance your hair, and that's what protects your hair the most. If you can some way balance it, you'll protect and preserve the moisture and the protein in your hair. So you have strong as well as hydrated hair. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then third, you're going to after you've shampooed, you've conditioned, then you're going to put moisture on and seal it with your oil. Think in terms of sealing it. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that help out a lot?
Yes, ma'am. Now, I have one more question.
Sure, absolutely.
So, what kind of oils would you prefer to use when you're doing this hot oil treatment?
If you choose to do it, let's talk about oils as you're asking, plus how it's done. Remember, your oils are not going to really stay. If you warm the oil up, you just basically want to put the oils in some little plastic container, sit it in a cup of hot water. Don't boil it, okay? Because you can burn your scalp. You can actually have degree burns on your scalp. So you just want to sit it again. Oil will heat up pretty quickly, okay, and it'll liquefy really quickly if it's a solid oil. And then you want to take your oils, and you can use something like, if you're going to use hot oils, you can take any oil that's scalp and hair friendly, that's not won't cause a negative buildup. You can use any of those kinds of oils. And one, you could take, for example, our oil sheen in a jar, and you could take that and put that and liquefy that. So let that warm up.
Okay, because I actually use that on my hair now.
Okay, super duper. Yay. Well, you can take a big scoop of that, put it in like a little Ziploc bag, and then, or in a little container. And because the jar is pretty dense, so the jar is going to, it protects it from the weather, so it will be hard to melt in the jar unless you really microwave it. But you can put it in hot water, and then you can then it should solidify, and it'll get soft enough to where you can put it on your scalp and on your hair. But again, it's not really necessary.
Okay.
It's not. If you don't have my oil sheen in a jar, there are other oils. Stay away from olive oil. I know that's one of the favorites. Jojoba is probably the thinnest oil. Mink, if you're not concerned about it being from animals, mink oil is a good one. But but my oil has a good blend of oils, and the molecular weight, the molecules that make it up, are very small, so it doesn't clog your pores of your hair and scalp. So that's something that's why I would recommend trying to liquefy that one. Okay, so just kind of hang out with us if you can, and then maybe you'll think of another question. Let's go to Ashley. Let's see what's going on with Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Ashley. You there?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't forget about you. Okay, well, I just finished Ashley. Wait a minute. This is Kirby. And which one did I just talk to?
Hi.
It's Kirby I need to talk to. I just spoke to Ashley. Sorry, Kirby. Hi, Kirby.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Welcome to the show. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor. And today we're having our roundtable discussion, and we're going to do something a little different next week. We're going to really do some Google Hangouts, and where we can see each other. We can really talk to each other and communicate and interact. But today we have everyone on the phone. We have Kristen, and we have Ashley, but we're going to talk to Kirby now. So Kirby, you had a pretty interesting question. Go ahead. And it's one that I think everyone has.
Okay, so I want to say around age 14, I've always had pretty long hair, but around age 14 is probably when my hair was the longest. And I wish that my hair could get back to that length. I've never had a perm or relaxer, no chemicals on my hair outside of color every now and then. I think that I pretty much take care of my hair about the same. And my hair is just not gotten back to the length that it used to be. So I was just wondering, is that common for women, African-American women or women of color, to not be able to get their hair to the length it was when they were in high school or even younger? And if it is common, what remedies or solutions do you have to reset that previous hair goal?
I love it, Kirby. You said reset this, right? We want to get this thing reset. But listen, let me tell you, it's common, but it's not something that should be standard. It's just common because African American hair, women of color, whether we relax our hair or whether we rock in a natural fro or whatever we're doing, we tend to have problems with managing our hair. So as we try to manage it and style it, we tend to bully it into place. So we overdo. Like if you're going to use heated tools, we tend to overuse the heated tools. We get them too hot. Not that we're using them too often, we're just getting them too hot. Then if we're going to relax, we tend to overprocess. If we're going to detangle, we tend to pull and tear and rip at our hair. So we've got to get to the point where we can get longer hair without having to get a protective style. And I love how you didn't just run to protective styles. You may have tried those, but the thing that we have to keep in mind is that we can have long hair. We just have to protect and preserve the shaft. So let's look at, do you wear relaxer or do you wear your hair natural?
No, I've never had a relaxer. My hair has been natural my whole life.
Okay, do you press your hair? Do you use a flat iron or do you just wear it in a fro?
For the most part, I will get a sew-in, or if I don't, then I just wear my hair in a bun.
Okay.
So I don't.
So
I
even,
don't have. I have.
go ahead.
I'm listening.
No, you were saying?
I said I either wear my hair in a bun, a curly bun, or a bun where swirled around. It's just naturally curly. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So the thing that we have to look at, if you're wearing the sew-in, how are you preparing your hair for? Let's talk about those two things that you're doing, and I'm just going to give you some tips on how you can continue to wear your sew-in. You can continue to wear your curly bun, but how do you prepare your hair for it? Because really, ladies, it's really all about preparing our hair for these things we want to do, and as I mentioned earlier, bullying our hair into place. The reason why we don't have hair that we had as a child, unless we have alopecia, which is baldness, the reason why we don't have it is because we are actually just breaking the hair almost as fast as it's growing. So we've got to really, really, really be careful about that. Okay. So this is the first tip that I'm going to give you. Let's get the mic here because I'm getting a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So one thing that we want to do, let's start with your sew-in. With your sew-in, number one, you want to make sure that you don't leave your sew-in for any length of time beyond 8 weeks. You can do 12, but you've got to be careful about how long you leave it in, especially if you're not going to, if your conditioning and shampooing techniques are you challenged with that. Okay, so first we want to make sure that you've got a good regimen with your sew-in. You have to shampoo inside of a week, inside of 7 days. You have to use the applicator bottle to get with a little Yorker tip, use a clarifying shampoo, get that tip underneath that track and just get a little drop of that shampoo about every inch or two down your track. Focus on all your scalp and the hair close to the scalp. The rest of the hair, you're just going to slide your clarifier through your weave, your sew-in, and so that it just doesn't tangle and mat up. Then you're just going to blot in those areas, because if you have the right clarifier, and we have one on my site, cleansing, clarifying, and balance shampoo. If you have the right clarifier, then you're going to be able to lift and clean away easily without having to do a lot of scrubbing. And that's what you want. Okay, so once you've done that, then you just rinse. You go get in the shower and you rinse and rinse and rinse your hair. Rinse it, and what it'll do is carry the dirt and debris from your scalp as well as from your weave and your sewn in hair, your braided hair. And that way, after you finish that, then you're going to just put the conditioner, squeeze it into those braids right at close to the scalp, and then let that sit for 60 seconds and rinse it away. Once you've done that, then you're ready to just blot and squeeze those braids. Focus on where your hair is. And then you're going to put in your leave-in conditioner the same way. Get it down inside those braids, your moisturizer, and then you'll oil your scalp and seal it. Then you can go on and proceed with your style. Once you take it down, you measure your hair. Measure your hair to see how long it is. And every 8 weeks, you take it down and remeasure. You can push it to 12, but you must have that braid program. If you email me, I will email you a little questionnaire, and then I will give you all the recommendations and products and program on what you need to do to get your hair some length under your sew-in. You should have length if you're having sew-in, because that's the way a lot of these bloggers, they wear their hair and they come out with it and they say, oh, look how long my hair is. Well, they're wearing styles or sew-ins 9, 10, 11 months out of the year. And they may leave it down for a month and they put it back up because there's no way for that hair to break. So if your hair is breaking while you're under that, then you have to be careful with the program. And lastly, you really have to be careful with two things. One, when they put your sew in, you make sure that they're not causing traction. So they're not pulling your scalp and pulling your hair. I mean, you know, ladies, anybody else out there have worn sew in protective styles, Ashley or Christian?
No, I've only had a sew-in like once, and I didn't even have it in that long. But right now, I'm trying to wear my hair natural. I'm like going back and forth between straightening it and then just wearing it curly. So.
Okay. All right. How about you, Christian? Have you worn a sew-in? Was that Christian? It was Ashley, right?
No, this is Christian here.
Okay, yeah.
I've been thinking about getting a sew-in, but I haven't committed to getting it yet. I've been washing my hair, wearing it curly while I flat iron it.
Well, just a lot of ladies, because it's instant, and I understand, Kirby, with you, getting back to you, your question, and just really understanding it's sewing is like a good thing that's going bad. It's like you can wear it, but if you don't protect and preserve your hair, you don't have the best experience or the desired results. So be careful and follow that. The other thing is you got to daily use vitamins on your hair close to the scalp. Not a lot, just a small amount, and it's a leave-in conditioner called hair vitamin. And if you do that, then when you take your sew-in down, all you will lose is the natural shedding hair. You will not lose your own hair. So your hair will be longer. If you're under 20, or if you're 20 to 30, then you're probably growing close to an inch every 4 to 8 weeks. So you're going to see a full inch or less of hair every 8 weeks. So just keep that in mind. Okay. As relates, and you were doing one other thing. You're a curly bun. When you pull your hair back in a curly bun, make sure, and even before you get your sew-in, prep your hair, your own hair. Make sure your own hair has been deep conditioned, clarified, deep conditioned, and then you want to put in leave-in conditioner, moisturizers, and oils, and focus on your ends, making sure your ends are focused. And then if you're going to wear your curly bun, then you're just going to wrap that around your own hair, like pull it back, smooth it back, wrap it around your own hair. Stay away from gels because they dehydrate and cause problems with tears on the cuticle. Stay away from the nylon brush. I've got on one of my videos, if you email me, Kirby, I'll send you a link to a video on how I pull my hair back. And it's just so easy. It's really easy. So make sure you try and do that, because that's how you're going to save your hair and you won't have as many problems. You think that might help, Kirby?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and for sure, just email me, because we're having this discussion and everybody's kind of talking about hair. But really, at the end of the day, what really happens, we end up with a lot of the answers and we just forget some of it. So you just make sure that you know that you can always email me. All right. Absolutely. Okay, so Christian, tell me what's going on in the world of working out and amateur boxing, and what's going on?
Well, everything is going good with my clients. We've just been training. Training's going extremely well with everybody.
How about their hair?
I was concerned about using apple cider vinegar as a clarifier. The natural clarifier or baking soda. Does it work?
No. Well, number one, apple cider vinegar can break up and break down. And y'all have heard me talk about this. Some of you may have heard me speak about this in the past. It can break up the pollutants and break them down, but it really cannot actually clean. So if you're using a lot of products that cause a buildup, most people are with natural hair, especially they use a lot of the butters and the different really dense cones and things like that because they're trying to get the look and they were trying to control their hair. Well, apple cider vinegar breaks a lot of that up, but it does not clean. So you'll have it broken up and then you rinse your hair. So some of it's off your hair. So you feel like, this is a little better, but some of that residue still lays on the hair. And the big thing for me as a trichologist, I see a lot of that residue in your pores. And so it's not going to remove it. So that's why you have to have a cleanser to really get your hair clean. Now you mentioned apple cider vinegar and it was something else you mentioned.
It was baking.
Baking, yeah. And baking soda, yeah. It's just, I don't know. Okay, so tell me about the baking soda. So what do y'all do? Do you just put it on as a powder or do you put it in water or what are y'all doing with baking soda? Some of you guys, let's get the chat going.
You can paste out of it. You can even, so the recipe is like supposed to be all natural, clarifying type of.
I bet that got you, didn't it? If you said all natural clarifying, it's like, yay, I ain't gonna do that. Go ahead.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, when you want to go natural or like use more natural products, I mean, so baking soda is something that seems simple. You can add coconut oil, olive oil. You can use and water. So you create it like somewhat of a paste, and then you put it on your hair. And once you wash it out, once you flat iron it or wear it natural, then it makes it soft, and it doesn't feel like there's a residue left on your hair.
Okay, yeah, I understand, but see, some of those things are contradicting each other. It's just really, really challenging for you guys when you're doing these recipes. But again, the natural, saying that it's natural is something that really says, okay, this might work. But really, you just really need to think about it, guys. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm not going to poke at you because you're not chemist. You're just someone who's trying to get your hair healthy and trying to do it the best way without harming your hair. And I get that. So no worries. But here's the deal. You want to make it simple. You in 2017, you shouldn't have to mix up products on your own. There are products that can do this for you. The danger to apple cider vinegar and even any kind of baking soda mix, it's the pH is too low and dehydrating. So you're going to end up your hair drying out. So make sure that you don't use them for that reason, if nothing else. Why does your hair feel a little better? It's first, especially with the apple cider vinegar, because it's breaking up and breaking down. With the baking soda concoction, it's basically breaking up a little bit, and then it's adding some slick and things that are going to kind of give you softer feeling. It's kind of like hydrating shampoos. People love them. And why do we love them? Because they basically soften and detangle. Well, that's not what you want. You need to have something that's going to give you more of a clean environment, not just a soft environment. You want to clean, and then you build your hair up with your conditioners. Just expose the true health of your hair and build your hair back up with your conditioners and your deep conditioning and your leave-in products. So guys, we're just going to really kind of pause there and really circle back to this every week, because this is a big deal for a lot of ladies. But I think a lot of ladies, we talked about this last week on the show, that some of the ladies are realizing that this is not going to work. I have a buildup. And so now we have YouTube videos of people talking about how to get rid of the buildup. It's amazing, because we're doing a co-washing and a no poo. So now they want to do it with the apple cider vinegar, but it's amazing. But because I do understand what's going on, it's a little more challenging for me to even imagine what's happening. But I'm really, in the near future, we really have to put some of the microscopic views of what the scalp looks like when you use these apple cider vinegar, baking soda concoctions, and you don't poo and you don't do those things that you used to do to cleanse your hair. In other words, you don't clean your hair. So, okay, Kristen, that's a good one. And really, with the people you work with, they're sweating a lot. So you have to couple that with wasting salt, which is what sweat leaves on your scalp and hair. So it's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So if you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor. And we're here today having our cyber roundtable hair discussion. I'm here with Christian, Ashley, and Kirby. And we're just going around in the circle talking. If you'd like to be on our roundtable discussion, please email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, and somebody will contact you to get you hooked up. And we're going to start being on Google Hangouts so that we can actually, well, I'm on it now, but we'll start having the group on Google Hangout so we can actually let you see our hair and what we're doing to our hair. And we're going to have some hair demos. So it's going to get fun because it's a big deal. And I am going to definitely hang in there with you guys for several weeks instead of switching up my topics. We're just going to talk about hair. We're going to talk about struggles that Black women have with their hair. I said it. That's right. Because I mean, I am a trichologist. I'm a professional. I'm an expert in hair, the hair guru, the hair doctor, is a lot of my patients call me. But I really understand that even though I treat and I analyze the strands of Caucasian women, Asian women, Latino women, Black women have more hair and scalp problems than women in any other race, and we spend more money on hair products than women in any other race. It's not something I made up. This is the truth. So that's why you have all of these major companies trying to make a product, all these stores trying to carry this Black hair care line. Remember back in the day, guys, when we couldn't even find a product for our hair. Any of you been around for more than 10 years, you know. So now it's a big deal. And the reason is because we are out there, we're struggling and we're demanding. So good for every one of you that are demanding more. But I just want you to know I'm here as a trichologist to help you understand what's going on with our hair. So I'm going to spend several weeks, months if I have to, on this topic, round table hair discussion. Okay. All right. You know what? Hang in there, guys. We're going to go to our chat room. We've got Jamila. Hi, Jamila. Welcome to the show. And she's chatting. She said, how much hair loss is normal when combing? Let's get to the how much it's normal to lose on a daily basis. Not necessarily with combing, because you shouldn't lose hair just because you comb your hair. So let's kind of break this up a little bit. The hair is going to shed, and it should shed. That's a part of the natural hair growth cycle. It's supposed to shed. Now, once the hair does shed, it's only shedding from the follicle. You can shed anywhere from 80 to 150 strands a day. The hair grows, it sheds, it lies in a dormant stage of resting, and then it starts all over again and grows again. So it's called the anagen, the catagen, and the telogen stage. That's the process of hair growth. We have to have it so we can have new hair. That's why we don't worry about hair when we damage it, because eventually we're going to get new hair, but most people recycle and redamage. Okay, so you're going to lose that much hair, but you don't notice it, guys. If you're noticing a lot of hair, and especially when you're combing it, that means it's probably breaking. Now, how do you know the difference? If you have strands that are coming out when you comb, take a look at them, save them. Save a couple of days. It depends on how much you have. If you have quite a bit, look at them every day. If you have dark hair, put it on a light piece of paper. If you have light hair, put it on a dark piece of paper. Put it under a light, just a lamp light will be fine. Start to separate. Look for this little club-like tissue. It's a little ball that's on the end of that hair. That's called a hair bulb. When that hair bulb is there, that means that was shedding. Then you separate the other pieces. Some may be little short pieces. Some may be long, thin pieces. So if those pieces, separate them. If most of those are hair bulbs, then you're shedding. If they're not hair bulbs, then you're breaking. You may break through layer peeling, strand separation, or clear breaks. It just depends. And that point, you know that your strand is being overexposed and is literally falling apart. So then you can stop. You can send in strand readings. I have that on my website if you just are not able to get this under control, or you can try some of my week hair programs. I have them on my website, lisaakbari.com. You can go and pull those programs. And if you need to see me, you can come to see me. And if you're out of state, I have patients who come from all over the world to come see me if you have a chronic case. But in normal hair, it shouldn't break. Make sure you're not combing through tangles. Make sure you're dressing your hair for bed properly. We're going to talk about that a little more in a minute. And make sure that you are overexposing it to relaxers, to detangling, to, like I mentioned, the pulling. And then make sure heated tools, things like that. And make sure you're treating it well when you're doing those sew-ins and those protective styles. I spoke earlier to Kirby about that. Okay, you also had another question, Jamila. You said how to grow my hair faster. I've been natural for about 4 years now. And this is the deal, guys. Growing your hair, it's two different things. And I'm not spinning my words. Hear me out. Grow hair is growing from your scalp. Now, unless you have bald spots throughout your head, then your hair is probably growing. It's growing, okay? So if you don't have bald spots, your hair is growing. If you are just not getting long hair, then your hair is growing, but it's probably breaking faster, as fast as it's growing, or a percentage of it is breaking off once it grows. Because you grow from the scalp, you obtain length or long hair from the shaft. And what do I mean? That means once it grows from your scalp, you have to protect and preserve it so that what you grow in stays throughout its lifespan, which means your hair is going to shed away 2, 4, 6 years, and that's strongly genetically linked, but at least 2 years. Okay, so that means if your hair is going to stay 2 years growing at a rate, if you're younger, yeah, it's going to grow at a rate of about 1 inch every 8 weeks. But if you're over 40, over 30, in your 30s, over 40, then your hair may grow at 0.5 inch every 8 weeks. It can be 4 to 8 weeks. I'll say 4 to 8 weeks on both. So do the math. I mean, if you're getting that much hair, you should have minimum 12 inches of hair. So where is our hair? And the reason our hair is not there and we don't have any balding, our hair is not there because it's breaking. So you have to deep condition. You have to dress your hair for bed. You have to protect and preserve it daily. You have to pay attention to what you're doing to this thread-like fiber called hair. So growth from the scalp, getting long from the shaft. Okay, do we still have anybody on our group? Yes. So does anybody want to ask something about that?
No, ma'am, I don't have any questions.
Okay, cool. Okay, so those were 2. So if you're just tuning in, and we've got some more folks loading up online, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. I'm here every week right here in the WDI studios on iHeartRadio, so you can hear me from anywhere in the world. Plus, I am streaming live. You notice I don't have my background. It's just like green, dark green. I'm in a studio, a different one, because I'm streaming live during the week. And then I'm replaying my show on Sundays. I'm so excited about that. So many people get to hear me. Somebody asked if I could be on more time. So this is one way. Okay, so I want you guys, we're here having a cyber roundtable hair discussion. My chat room is open. The phone lines are open. Well, my phone is here, but no, let's just scratch that. The phone line is not open. I have to think about the fact that we're going to replay this on Sunday. So you won't be able to call in, but you can always email me. And I've been doing this little after show chat for 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're tuning in and it's Sunday, then remember, I'm going to have some after chat on Sunday. And if I don't have that, then make sure you email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com. And that's LISA at LISAAKBARI.com. Oh my goodness, we're talking about some great things today. Let's kind of go to our celebrity news. And I want to pick up because we talked about Halle Berry for a couple of shows, but I don't think I told you guys just how to do this if you had your own hair. I talked about her new look. Remember that? And we're going to talk about Jennifer Hudson too, but her new look, it was so cool. Her new look was where she was able to, let's see here. Okay, good. She was able to have her hair in this big curly look. So I thought that was pretty cool. And a lot of people asked about it. Well, you need curly weave if you're going to do a sew-in, because she either had a curly wig or curly weave. Let's just say, put it out there. Now, for your hair, if you have your own hair, then you can do you have to have a very smooth cuticle. So if you have natural hair, you need to make sure that you're using, I have some suggestions with my line. You have to make sure you use shampooing, clarifying, deep conditioning, and then you want to make sure that you're using 3 items for my list if you have natural hair. Number 1, you have to use a leave-in conditioner. I have one called Hair Vitamins I'm recommending. And the reason it's not like a show about my product, but so often I'll just say, use a leave-in conditioner, and then I'll get all these emails going, which leave-in conditioner? So I'm just going to tell you my leave-in conditioner. Okay, guys? But then you don't have to look. You can go on my website, lisaakbari.com. I'm just making it easy for you. But I always believe that if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. So if you have your products that you love, use those. But if you don't, I'm your lady. I'm here. I'm your hair doctor. Okay. All right. So it's the leave-in conditioner. I have one called Hair Vitamin. And then I would highly recommend, now, if you have extremely dry hair, I'm going to recommend you go to the hydration next, because you've got to get your moisture levels up. But if you don't have extremely dry hair, once you saturate your hair with the leave-in conditioner, then you're ready to take the naturally textured, smooth that down the hair until you get like ribbon smooth. You start with your ends, open up, put it on the hair close to the scalp, then slide it down your hair. And then you take and you oil your scalp and seal the hair. Once you do that, then you can take your roller, smooth it down, and you can use a satin roller and you roll it. Don't use the rods, guys, because the rods, you can't sleep on those. They're really, really damaging over a period of time to your scalp. So really be careful about doing that. So slide that down the hair and then allow yourself to dry. Now, this is the trick, and I tell everyone this. So because it takes a long time to dry this style, then you have to sit under the dryer. If you have long hair and you normally sit in the dryer an hour to dry your hair, take that and break that up 30 minutes on cool, and then go back and do 30 minutes on warm. Your hair is still going to dry, and you're not going to dry it out. So whatever time you do on your dryer time, normally with a rod set, you do that same time, but you do half of it on cool and the other half on warm. And then you let it air dry the rest, and it'll be fine. And the good news is, hey, you can sleep on these rollers if you use like the satin rollers, or I have some called Sentinel. You can email me. Now, so that's what you do. And then after it's dry, you take it down one roll at a time and slide that oil on your fingers, because what that's going to do on your fingers, and then slide it down each roller that you take down, and that's going to lock in that curl pattern. And then you just fluff it. And each night you pin curl it or re-roll it. Okay, that's how you get the Halle Berry style if you are if you are natural. If you are relaxed, then you can do the same thing, but you need to do it's different. You use a sculptor set, which is my setting lotion. You can find that on my website as well. Now, today's hair celebrity news. And if you have questions, you can chat with me. The chat room is open. Or any guys on the round table, you guys got any questions?
My question is on maintenance with the curly hairstyle.
Okay, cool.
After so long, so how do you maintain the hairstyle?
That's an outstanding question. Listen, what you basically do, first you've got to make sure that you start out with a nice smooth curl. If you're starting out with a smooth curl, each night you've got to do things to keep the cuticle flat. Frizzy from the cuticle lifting and being exposed to outside moisture like humidity, shower, things like that. Sweat, things like that. So what you want to do is you want to keep that cuticle sealed so that the moisture doesn't get under it, the outside moisture, the negative moisture, I guess you could call it. So what you do is if you have very dry hair, you use the naturally textured and then the oil sheen in a jar, and you put that on and you ribbon smooth it, and then you roll it or you pin curl it. Now, a lot of folks don't want to do that. They like to stick a bonnet on. Bonnets are just bad. I mean, I know you guys are using them and you love them. You say they keep your style, but bonnets basically are going to cause friction on the hairline, friction and traction. Then the bonnets are going to flatten the hair. And if you sweat, it's going to make it frizz. So oops, there it is. It's just best not to use them. Okay, so using your naturally textured and then your oil sheen in a jar will do it. Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, let me know how that works out for you because that's really important. That all the advice I give you guys, please email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, and let me know how it works out for you. Now, Jennifer Hudson. Now, she's been criticized by her fans because of an outfit she wore. Remember, that outfit? It was like, okay. We will talk about the outfit because this is a hair show. But it would be a great time to really point out that she is still rocking a fabulous hairstyle. Not uncommon for her to rock a shorter hairstyle and make it really look easy. However, that it can be difficult sometimes to maintain shorter hairstyles. Here we go. How do we maintain these shorter hairstyles? I mean, let's give Jennifer Hudson a break. Let's let her have fun. She's got this great shape now. I think she's lost all this weight. Let's give her a break. Okay? All right, so let's look at this short hairstyle and let's talk about how would you maintain it. It depends. If she's got like this pixie style, well, if you have this type of hairstyle, then there's going to be some things that you're going to need to do. So think about it. All right, so let's kind of look at her style and let's break it up. So does anyone first, before we go there, and let's go to our chat room. Let's see if we have anyone who's got questions about Jennifer Hudson's style. Okay, so how about you guys first before I get into my explanation? We got anybody on our roundtable discussion that's got a question?
With those short pixie cuts, it's like, especially with you working out, it's almost impossible to keep a hairstyle. I mean, especially if you have curly hair, as soon as sweat hit it, it'll curl up or something like this. So does it make sense to flat iron and keep that type of style flat iron, even though it's a cute hairstyle? It just seems like it's more damaging in the long term because you're constantly flat ironing it, or the perm or permanent. Well, you have to have it permanent anyways, but.
Okay, here's my advice, and this is a great question. You said that if with the hairstyle, if you are natural, is that what you're saying? If you're natural?
Right. So
if you're natural and you're wearing a short pixie style, now you have to continue to flat iron it. Let's just be real. If you are natural and you're wearing a short style and you're working out, a short pixie style needs to stay curly, guys. And oh my goodness, cute and more cute. A short pixie curly. So if you say, well, I want to wear it straight, well, wear it straight for that moment, for that event, for that party, for that church event, wherever you're going to. But don't try to wear it a straight pixie every day and work out. Let's be real. Let's wear it one day that way and just have some fun with it. You guys are online, post it, say, hey, look at me in my straight look. And now look at me in the curly. Then if you sweat and work out, unless you're going to shampoo and condition it and restyle it, then just rock it curly and pixie short. And I need to put some images, and just remind me, guys, email me and remind me to put some images up of some short pixie styles, because I'm telling you, they can be so cute. So I think you should really look at that as well. If you say, well, I really want to keep it straight, you're going to be challenged, because if your hair, you flat iron your hair, if it's natural and you flat iron it and you make it straight, and if it doesn't curl back up when you sweat or you work out, then you're over processed if it stays straight. So your hair is only doing what it's supposed to do. If it's natural, it's supposed to curl back up. Okay, so keep that in mind, ladies. So if you're not curling back up, you're over processed. So I don't know. Do you think that's something you could probably do? Maybe wear a short curly look.
It is, but I didn't intend on wearing like a short curly fro. It's like I like the pixie cut, and if I could keep the pixie cut, it just seems impossible to keep the pixie cut with as much as I work out.
I understand. So if you're going to, so that's not something you should do.
So maybe a quick weave would probably be a better option.
Well, first, you never want to do a quick weave. And I'm so glad you brought that up. Quick weave is, if you know, and you notice I never say never, but a quick weave is definitely problematic. If you do a quick weave, you're going to have a challenge, a problem with your hair, with alopecia, losing your hair. Quick weave, let's talk about what that is. Quick weave, and I know I'm pivoting to something else, but quick weave is a situation where you are bonding your hair to either a stocking cap or something, or you bond it straight to your scalp. If you bond it to a stocking cap, in order for it to hold onto your head, it's going to seep through that stocking cap or that cap or whatever you spray on there to try to block it, and it's going to stick to your head eventually. So it's bad. So don't quick weave. If you want a pixie look and you just want to use it under as a protective style, then you just need to make sure that you are doing things that are going to be, how do I say it? You're going to do things that are going to be hair and scalp friendly. Okay, guys? That's crucial, crucial, crucial. All right, so no more quick weave and the pixie style. That may not be the style for you, but you can do a sew-in and then do a short style if you want to wear that for a period of time. But you need to be careful with the having the care program. But again, let's leave Jennifer Hudson alone and let's let her, honey. Okay, when I lose that much weight, okay, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not going to show that much cleavage, and I'm not going to quite do that, because I'm, I can't do that. I'm married with children. My husband would be like, excuse you. Only at home you can do that, honey. but we're going to give her a break. She deserves it. She can wear that style. She looks fabulous. Okay. So I know she's got some criticism, and I know some of the folks out there believe in dressing a certain way. But anyways, I think that's my take on the short style. Okay. And she's doing a lot. She wears a lot of wigs. I mean, she's got all kinds. She's got long hair. She's got short hair. She's got braided hair. She's got curly hair. She's doing a lot of things with her hair, and I think it's really, really super, super, super cool. And we just have to look at the safest way for us to wear our style. We don't make the money that she makes. She's got plenty of money to have a hairstylist there every day. So we just need to pay attention and make sure that we're staying safe with our hair. Okay, guys, we're almost out of time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of wrap the show up a little bit. Just remember, guys, I'm here each and every week right here in the WDIA studios at iHeartRadio. And I'm always live streaming as I'm here. And then I'm going to replay the show so that you can see the show or hear the show. Hear it right here in the WDI studios on Sunday. So I'm either going to be here on a Friday streaming or on a Wednesday streaming live. And then you'll be able to hear it again on that following Sunday. But if you want to be in my cyber roundtable hair discussion, just let me know and then email me at Lisa at lisaakbari.com. Okay, we've got some folks that are tuning out. We've got a few more minutes before we're going to check out. And then because we started a little late. I think we started about 10:33. So we're going to check out at about 11:33 a.m. Central Standard Time. But okay, here I am. There you guys are looking for me. Okay. So guys, I'm excited about the show. Tune in Sunday. Make sure you send me your questions, Lisa at lisaakbari.com. If you have any additional questions about topics that I've spoke about today, next week we're going to talk about more. We're going to get some bloggers in next week. And we want to get more roundtable discussion folks in. We're going to try Google Hangouts next week. If it all works, you know our technology is. We're just going to see. We're going to pray. But I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. I'm here each and every week right here on iHeartRadio and the WDI studios. And on Sunday, I'll be replaying this same show from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I'll be back here next Wednesday, if God says the same. Remember that old folks used to say, if God says the same, well, I'm going to use that. Okay. Same. I'll be here for at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time right here in iHeartRadio and WDA Studios. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari. I'm your hair doctor. So email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com. Thank you, Kirby. Thank you, Ashley. And thank you, Kristen, for tuning in our roundtable discussion, cyber roundtable discussion hair panel. And they had some outstanding questions for us. We're going to get with some bloggers next week. And I'm going to be right here with you, right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon. God bless you. To God be the glory in Jesus. Have a great day. Bye.